Hey guys, what's going on? We got 3 minutes to game time. Make sure you have your trainer set up. If you're doing a smart trainer, there is no structured ride for you to plug in today. You're going to have to do it manually. So you can either set your smart trainer to dumb mode or level mode and you can just shift around with your gears, or you can put it in erg mode and you can use your remote to shift through the different gears. But we want to have that option. So if you're on a smart trainer, pick what you want to use. If you're on a dumb trainer, of course, you're just going to shift around. Today, we're going to re-ride a ride that we've already done. It was one of my favorites. And it's a sweet spot based workout with some higher levels of effort. Sweet spot for us today is going to be right around 88-90% FTP. If you don't know how to test your FTP, if you don't know what it is, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'm going to walk you guys through it. Maybe we'll make a class all about testing it and then working out afterwards. But if you have a power meter and on a smart trainer or a dumb trainer, we want to figure out what 88% is. If you're just going based off of feel, I believe I have that all sorted in the video. We'll see when I play it. But I'm pretty sure it's all taken care of with how you should feel in that workout. So we're going to start our warm-up in about 90 seconds. If you guys have any questions, you can always pop it in. Some of us are on a Facebook chat. You could stick it in the Facebook chat, text me, put it in the actual YouTube chat is the best. That's the way I'm going to find it the easiest. I think this might be ride 61, 63, something like that. For some reason, I named them all odds, even though I'm not doing evens. So we're going to name them 63, 65, 67. So for whatever reason, we have a minute to go. It's going to be fun. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Just relax, get ready. The warm-up starts in about a minute. Trying to think if there's any new news. There's plenty of new news, but any new cycling related news? We've had enough news for a while, I think. Enough drama. I can't think of anything. Chris Froome is coming back for what's that team called? The Startup of Israel, or whatever the Israeli team is. So he's going to be there next year. That's a cool development. Let me know if you guys have any other cool developments that you've heard of. Time to go. Get ready. 13 seconds. Hope you guys are ready to rock. I'm just going to switch over, and I have it saved here, so I'm going to play the old one. Here we go. Here we go. 3 minutes easy. Nice and easy, any RPM you want. There we go. I don't know why the mic was so quiet, but I think we should have had that fixed. So we should be good to go. All right. 3 minutes, nice and easy. Relax. Drink some water. If you're looking at your power meter, I would say 50. I usually do 55% FTP. I don't know why. I just superstition. I like to go just a little bit above halfway. So 55% FTP is what I go to. All right. We have probably about 2 minutes there. Alright guys, so we're going to finish up. We have just about 1 minute, I believe, left on our nice easy section. So easy legs, whatever RPM you want. We're going to be targeting 90 to 95 RPMs on the main set. So I would spend the majority of your warm-up right in that range so that you're ready for that today in the main main set. All right, 50 seconds left, and then we're gonna get rocking. So I'm catching up. I was behind. I've been watching the Vuelta a España. I'm a little bit behind because I like to watch it while I'm on the trainer, and I do most of my rides outside, but I just do my higher intensity ones inside. So I've been watching that recently, and we're super exciting. I think I'm up to maybe stage 13 now. If anyone's watching that, let me know. Put it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Pretty cool. NBC does really good highlights. Here we go. We're going to bring it up to tempo. If you're looking at your power meter, we're looking for something that's about 70, 75% FTP. If you're going based on feel, we want it to burn a little bit or just be a little bit uncomfortable, sweaty. The first minute at tempo each day probably is a little uncomfortable, knocking the rust off those legs. Some people call it that. Some people call it opening the pipes, right? But you're really trying to make yourself aerobically active. You're trying to get some of that muscle activation going at a higher force. So if you had a hard ride earlier in the week, you might feel some of that soreness in those legs. So push through, tempo pace. This is going to be right around where we're going to do our main set today. Our main set is going to be actually up in the 80% FTPs, but we're going to do tempo for most of our ride today. So, thanks for pointing that out. It seems like it was a little bit quiet on the voice still, even though I jacked up that mic. I wonder if I'm just talk closer to the mic if that's better. I'm just going to jack up the mic as far as it goes. We'll see if that works. I know you guys love to hear my voice, so now you get to hear it a little bit louder, hopefully. All right, we have 30 seconds left, tempo pace. Then we're gonna pick it up to spicy. Spicy is just a fun way for me of saying threshold or above. So we're gonna go to 95% FTP up to 105. So a little bit below FTP to a little bit above FTP. Your choice. Three minutes starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3 minutes. Spicy. So if you're looking at your power meter, I would say 95 to 105% FTP, kind of fluctuating through there. If you're just going based on feel, make it burn. Burn for 3 minutes. And there we go. We included that little crash. I don't want to call it a crash because, you know, he didn't actually come off the bike. But stuff happens in a crit. It's always something. Alright, so they're just going to do a neutral restart for this group, which means they throw them back in on the next lap around. These are pretty quick laps, so they're going to just throw them back in on the next round. There we go. Alright guys, you have 1 minute left. Hopefully you were pedaling through all of that crash stuff, because we're still trying to warm up. So keep that warm up going for another 45 seconds. All right, 20 more seconds. If you want to ramp it up a little bit more towards the end, this is going to be the end of the warm-up in these next 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a breath. All right. Cool. So we're going to rest for about 3 minutes. You get 3 minutes of rest. We're going to get ready for these 2 20-minute sets. They're going to be identical sets. So the first set is going to be 20 minutes long, kind of start to finish. This is how it looks. We're going to do 2 minutes of sweet spot. So it's going to be like the highest end of tempo. We're really pretty much going to do about 95% FTP. 2 minutes of that. Then we have 30 seconds of accelerating and going harder. Then we do 2 minutes of 98% FTP, which is just going to be, again, about the same thing. Sweet spot, almost FTP, right under there. Top of tempo, bottom of FTP. That's pretty much where we're going to go. For 2 minutes, 30-second acceleration. We do that 4 times. So if you're going by your power meter, it's going to be 95%, 30 seconds harder. 98%, 30 seconds harder. 95%, 30 seconds harder. 98%, 30 seconds harder. You don't actually have to go that exact. We're just going to go bottom of threshold or top of tempo for 2 minutes. Accelerate for 30 seconds. We do that 4 times. That takes 10 minutes. You get a quick 1 minute break to just shake those legs out. We do the exact same thing again for 10 minutes. That's 20, or I guess 21 minutes because you had that 1 minute rest. You're going to get a break of about 5 minutes to just cool it all down. We do that whole thing again. So the longest actual effort is 2 minutes, but it's all strung together with no rests, so it actually adds up to about a 10-minute block, a 1 minute rest, a 10-minute block. That's 20. We're good to go. All right, so let's get ready for our first set. If you're one of my athletes and you're doing this at home and you're following along live, we actually have 3 of these 20-minute efforts programmed. But the live stream, I keep it to about an hour, so I only could fit 2 of those efforts in. So if you're one of my athletes, you're going to do those 2 efforts, take the same amount of rest, and then do a third one instead of cooling down. So if you're one of my athletes, please don't cool down. Feel free on your own, if you're not one of my athletes, to do a third effort. You can also rewind back to the beginning of the set and just do another one with us as your third set. Here we go. And we're going to get up to sweet spot. I wrote tempo because it's technically tempo, but we're going to be up in that sweet spot range. RPMs should be right around 90. Right, left, right, left, right. 90 RPMs. Make it burn. We're looking for about 95% FTP. Good. Make it burn. It burns for 2 minutes. Actually, it's going to burn for the whole 10 minutes. So it burns, but it's semi under control. I would say it feels like a 7 out of 10. We're looking for like a 7 out of 10. All right, in 45 seconds, we're going to accelerate for 30 seconds. When I say accelerate, I don't want you to sprint. We're just going to pick it up to over FTP. So we're going to like 105%. All right, get ready. In 10 seconds, we're going to start to accelerate. Just gradually pick up that pace. We want to make this definitively burn. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's pick it up. 30 seconds spicy. Let's go. Good. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Good. You have 15 more seconds. Pedal, 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 pedal. And bring it right back down to tempo pace. Sweet spot pace. I set the RPMs at 95 for this one. So just a little bit faster than it was before. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Good. If the last time we did sweet spot, it felt like a 7 out of 10, this should feel like a 7.5 out of 10. Just a little bit harder. It's a little bit more RPM at the same gear. All right, you have just under a minute, and then we're going to get this started again. So the 2 minute of tempo, and then the 30-second of a little bit harder and faster. That's a 2.5 minute segment. We do 4 of those for 10 minutes. Then you get your 1 minute rest. Keep those legs going. We want this to feel like a 7.5 out of 10. It should be like 98% FTP if you're looking at your power meter. And if you're looking at your heart rate, it's probably 1 or 2 beats under FTP. It's not that different. All right, here we go. And accelerate 30 seconds. Pick it up over FTP. We're looking at like 105%. Just make it burn. Probably something like an 8 out of 10. 8, 8.5 out of 10. Just burn it up. 15 seconds. Come on, guys. Keep it up. Go, 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 go. 3, 2, 1. And all right, 2 minutes back to tempo for the third time. I put you guys back at 90 RPM, so if you're all on the same gear, which would be great, not required, but great, it's going to feel just a little bit easier. So we're back to 90 RPMs or about 95% FTP. It burns like a 7.5 out of 10. All right, guys, 1 minute and then we accelerate. All right, guys, we're going to go into acceleration number 3. So we're going to pick it up to just about 105% FTP. Stay seated. Don't sprint. Just pick it up. And here we go. Picking up that pace for 30 seconds. And get ready to bring it right back down to your last tempo before a quick break. Here we go, last tempo. We're on tempo number 4. And you're going to hold on to this for 2 minutes, followed by a 30-second acceleration. Good, 90 seconds left. RPMs, if you're matching it to the beat of the music, will be 95 RPMs. That should, if you're doing this all in the same gear on a dumb trainer, that should make this feel like 98% FTP. Good, we have 70 seconds and then we do that acceleration. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. "30 seconds to go." This last acceleration, really try and hold back and don't go all out. Just because it's the last one before a rest, keep in mind that it's only a 1 minute rest and then we do it all again. So try not to blow yourself up here. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. 30 seconds, slight acceleration. We want to be at about 105%. Good, 15 seconds, finish strong all the way. And you can take a 1 minute rest. It's not going to feel that restful because it's only 1 minute. When you get back from that 1 minute rest, we're going to go into the exact same thing again. And it's going to go 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 30. All right, guys, get ready. We have about 20 seconds left, and we do this again. Three, 2, 1. You guys know the drill. Here we go. We're looking at 90 RPMs, 95% FTP. 2 minutes. I would suggest that if you're on a dumb trainer, you leave this all in one gear. So make that 90 RPMs feel like a 7 out of 10. That way, when we go up to 95 RPMs later, it's going to feel a little bit harder, so you don't have to worry too much about changing gears to change the effort. You're just going to follow along with those RPMs. So just try and leave it in one gear. If you're on a smart trainer, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But if you're on a dumb trainer, just try and leave that gear where it is, 90 RPMs. Make it feel like a 7, 7.5 out of 10. I noticed that the link for the apparel is actually not in the description. It disappeared from when I put it in last night. So I'm going to put that back in there now. We'll put the link in there so you guys can find that. Good. 1 more minute here at Sweet Spot. High tempo. This is number 5 because I labeled them through the whole thing. So you're going to get 16 tempo sets today. I just labeled them so they don't reset every set. Cool. 30 seconds. And then we're going to do that slight acceleration. All right, we're going to do that slight acceleration. Remember, it's not a sprint. It's just a slight acceleration to bring you above your threshold. So let's go spicy for 30 seconds. It should probably feel like an 8 out of 10. And we're going to bring it back down. Leave that gear where it is. We should have just left it where it is. And then you slow down to 95 RPMs. So that 95 RPMs should now feel a little bit harder than the 90 RPMs did. If you're using a smart trainer or you're shifting your gears around, don't worry about it. Just make this feel a little bit harder than tempo number 5 was. So we're looking at about almost threshold, 98%, if you're following along with your power meter. Got it. 90 more seconds here. Good work, guys. "30 more seconds, then we do another acceleration." And here we go. We're going to accelerate just above FTP. Let's pick it up. There we go. All right, guys. I just, in the comments of the YouTube video, put in the link for the local apparel store on Teespring. It's not going to be on the Facebook page. So if you're watching along, if you're doing the race along with Facebook, pop into the YouTube later and grab that link. Here we go. 3, 2, and bring it back to tempo. All right, this is tempo number 7. We're back to 90 RPMs. If you're doing this all on one gear, on a quote unquote dumb trainer, like a just a general Cyclops or a Kurt Kinetic. Rollers possibly. Rollers typically don't give enough resistance, but use what you got. We have 30 seconds here, 90 RPMs, 95% FTP. We got some fun teams in this race. We have ButcherBox up here. We have Cliff Bar. I really like ButcherBox kit. At least, I don't know what their kit is now. Because people kind of update their kit every couple of years, every year, because sponsors change, the design changes. But the past couple of years of ButcherBox, maybe the last 2 years, have been pretty cool. All right, I don't want to jinx it, but our internet service today, our internet connectivity is really good, so we haven't dropped any frames yet. So I'm happy to be able to provide you with some not lagging internet for once. I think we got the magic mix. You'll notice that you can see the power in the bottom left-hand corner again. The power meter did go out a little bit on that crash, temporarily. Here we go, guys. Accelerate for 30 seconds. A little bit over FTP. Make it feel like an 8 out of 10. Make it burn. All right, finish it out nice and smooth, and then we're going to bring it back down to tempo number 8, which will be 95 RPMs. Right, left, 95 RPMs. Go, 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 go. So, when you see long hair, it's typically in the women's field, but when you see long hair in the men's field, it's always a point of debate. We have aero bikes, aero wheels, sometimes aero skin suits when we're in a crit. Do you stuff your hair under the helmet? Do you stick it in the back of your kit? What do you do with your hair? And I think it's Stephen Hoffman from Cliff. I have to remember who it was, but someone said it depends on how important the race is, which is kind of a mind game, telling people if you see my hair out, you know I'm not trying as hard. Which maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Maybe he's just trying to make you think it's not important. I don't know. But definitely it is going to be more aerodynamic to not have your hair there. The hair showing itself is not that bad off the back of the helmet. You just want to braid it so that it's not all over the place. Generally, we used to think the smoother and the more streamlined, the better. which is for the most part true, but you also need some deviations to trip that laminar flow off the body. So hair could, in some cases, maybe be a benefit depending on where it is. And here we go. Acceleration number 8. This is going to be your last one. So let's pedal, 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 pedal. This is your last one out of 20 minutes. We've just finished 19 and a half minutes. So feel free on these last 15 minutes to accelerate through. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. All the way through. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. You get a 3-minute rest. I mean a 5-minute rest, sorry. Five-minute rest. I cut the music off because I think it's cool to just listen to the bike race for a little bit. So for our rest, we're just going to listen to the bike race. You know, what's a better sound than a coasting freewheel, especially if you have like a Chris King or a cool freewheel that, you know, clicks around, spins around. Just love it. The sounds of bike racing. So listen to it as a little bit of white noise. If you have any questions, if you want to go to that website now for the local apparel store, keep that going. I mean, keep checking in on that because I will add more designs. The nice thing about it is all I have to do is stick the designs up there and you can order them. If you want something like a tank top or a sweatshirt, just let me know and I can add that to the store really easily. As the temperature changes, we'll put some new stuff up there. For those of you that do our sessions, our sprint session, going to be our lifting session and soon to be our crit session, we have some local cycling gear from Jackaroo, which really super impressed with Jackaroo, and they're not a sponsored endorsement at all. Really impressed with their quality. I've had Jackaroo stuff years past, and I'm really impressed with how they've continued to evolve their product. So we have some really great product from them. They don't plaster Jackaroo all over their kit. They have a little hang tag, a little cloth tag with a J on it. Really, they don't smack their design all over your kit. So we have some cool kits, jerseys, bibs, knee warmers, leg warmers, arm warmers, base layer, and then if you want the neck gaiter, for socially distant reasons, maybe you want to go into a coffee shop during your ride, or it's just cold, you want a little bit of that scarf on there and then flip it up when you go in. We have those on the Teespring shop. All right. We have 2.5 minutes left. We're getting right behind Texas Roadhouse right now. Get ready. We're going to do the exact same thing again. And if you're one of my riders, or you just want to make this last an hour, you want to make this last more than an hour, once we finish this next set, take a 5-minute rest and then rewind and do one of these sets again. So you get 3 sets. That's the full workout, is the 3 sets. But I'm trying to keep these streams to an hour so that it's a little bit more accessible. You know, just because I wanted it to be an hour and a half, 2-hour workout doesn't mean that someone wants to live stream for 2 hours. So if you have time and you want to scroll back and do an extra one, do that. If not, skip it. Cool. 2 minutes to go. All right, guys, 1 minute to go. All right. The wonderful sound of bike racing. Don't you guys just love that? Coasting wheels, wind. You can just hear the wind and feel it on your face. I don't know this team up on the left, but they've got QBP on the leg, which is Quality Bike Parts. If you know, you know. Here we go. Boom! We're back to tempo, guys. Tempo number 9, or number 1. All right, so if you are doing this all on one gear, which would be great, 90 RPMs, make it feel like a 7.5 out of 10. Hold on to that. And we're going to do everything on this gear, which means when we accelerate, you pedal faster. And when we're doing tempo, you match the RPM that you hear on, I'm going to say here on the screen, but here in the video. QBP, Quality Bike Parts, is a wholesale distributor of basically every bike shop in America. Actually, I don't know. Worldwide? I don't know. I just, I don't go to many international bike shops and talk to them about their wholesale distributors, but QBP has super fast shipping to everyone, and yeah, so QBP, baby. We are going to accelerate in about 45 seconds. Right up behind Cliff right now. Speaking of aerodynamics, we were talking about hair and kits, and so something that I'm going to offer is aerodynamic testing. I have got my hands on an aerodynamic sensor that will in real time give you your CDA, or your drag coefficient. So it'll tell you how aerodynamic you are, and we can test. Let's accelerate first. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So you're going to be able to, let's make this feel like an 8 out of 10. So you're going to be able to test different helmets, different riding positions. Am I more aero in the tops with my elbows bent, or in the drops with my elbows more straight? You could test different wheels. You can test different tires. We're going to be able to test aerodynamic in real time on the road bike, on the TT bike, on the track bike. So that's going to be a really exciting thing to offer. Let's bring it back down to tempo if you're going on one gear, which would be great. Let's bring that to 95 RPM. So that's going to be exciting. If it's something you're interested in, let me know. We'll figure out what is best for you. Are we going to test different positions? Do we want to bring your aero extensions higher, lower, closer together, further apart? Or is it just about you testing a bunch of different gear, or possibly just a couple different positions, like Sphinx, which is when your forms are on the, like the Sphinx, they're on the top of the handlebar, versus in the drops versus on the tops. We can test all of those things. Just reach out to me, let me know, put it in the comments. You'll see the social media screen at the end. You could just message me on Instagram or YouTube. We have 1 more minute of tempo, guys. We're going about 95 RPMs. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It should feel like a 7.5-ish out of 10, maybe a little bit more. And if you're looking at your power meter, 98% FTP, which is very specific, but anything 95 to 98, anything just under FTP. And you don't really have to do the math. Let's just say your FTP was 300 watts. 1% of that is 3 watts. So for us to go 2 to 5% under that, we're talking like 10 watts, right? It's not that much. All right. And let's accelerate a little bit quicker. So we're pedaling over 95 RPMs. Make it feel like an 8 out of 10. Pedal, 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 pedal. We're going to go right back down to tempo, and it's going to be 95% FTP. But again, it's really hard to hold a discrete level like that. Oh, wow, I feel like I just shouted at myself. It's really hard to hold a very discrete level like that, so anything 95 to 98 is fair game. High tempo, low FTP, low threshold. There we go, 2 minutes. This is tempo number 11. So we started this set at 9. So this is going to be, this is your third effort out of the set, or the 11th overall. All right, we got 30 more seconds, and then we're going to accelerate. You guys know the drill. Get ready to accelerate in 10 seconds. We're just going to bring it just a little bit above FTP. So we're looking at 105% in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 105%-ish. Good. Pedal, 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 pedal. Keep it going. Anything over 95 RPMs is pretty much fair game on this one. 3, 2, 1, and we're back to tempo. This is going to be your fourth one before we, or your last one before we get a 1 minute rest. All right, 95 RPMs. 95 RPM. Should feel about 98% FTP. I did this ride, what's today? Sunday, Saturday, Friday. I did this ride on Friday. If you're not from Southern California, I did it in Palos Verdes. Because for these efforts, I really like to do them up a hill. Kind of helps me from feeling like I have to. It helps because you always have to put power into the bike. It helps me feel like I'm not going to spin out. On some of these efforts, if it's a little bit downhill, you end up hitting 35 miles an hour, just trying to hit your power target because you're going a little bit downhill. Then you have to take that turn at 30 miles an hour because you don't want to let your power drop. So sometimes for these longer efforts, I like to go uphill. However, for 20 minutes, very hard to find a 20-minute hill. So on my 1 minute rest in between 10-minute efforts, I had to turn around and sprint downhill, pick up as much ground as I could. So when I turn back around, I'm as far down that mountain as I can so I can not hit the top before the end. All right. We are at 20 seconds to go. We're going to finish with an acceleration. Remember not to overdo this acceleration because you only get 1 minute rest. 10. Get ready to accelerate in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's accelerate for 30 seconds. It feels like an 8 out of 10, but it's not out of this world. Pedal faster than 95 RPMs, because otherwise you're just doing tempo. Pedal, 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 pedal. Maybe shoot for 100. Four, three, two, one, and you get a 1 minute rest. All right, I'm just gonna look up what officially I programmed for the 30-second accelerations, and I'll tell you what that should be in case you're interested and you're looking at your power meter. I've said just go a little bit above FTP, but I'll tell you exactly what I scheduled it as. Get ready to go back to tempo. Sweet spot tempo in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 90 RPMs. This is tempo number 13. We're going up to 16 total tempos. So we're getting close, guys. Yeah, so those accelerations, I programmed them between 105 and 110. If you're coming off of the 90 RPM, it goes up to 105. And then if you're coming off the 98% one, it goes up to 110. I would just say 105 or a little bit more percent FTP. But there's something to be said for not worrying over all the FTP percents and just going based on feel. It should feel like an 8 out of 10 for 30 seconds. All right, guys, in 30 seconds, we're going to do our first acceleration of this set. I'm going to call this a brand new set, even though it's kind of connected to the 10 minutes before. We'll call this set tempo number 13, 14, 15, and 16, followed by accelerations number 13, 14, 15, and 16. Here we go, guys. We're going to do our first acceleration of this 10-minute set. Let's go to 105% FTP in 3, 2, 1, and just accelerate. I would say pedal up to about 100 RPMs. Pedal, 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 pedal. If you're on a smart trainer, don't worry about it. You can pedal at whatever RPM you want. I would still keep it faster rather than slower for now. Four, three, two. Let's bring it right back down to tempo. We're looking at 98% FTP and 95 RPMs. A little bit faster, a little bit harder. 7.5 out of 10-ish. Maybe almost 8 out of 10. Depending on how you feel. The cumulative effect will make this same sweet spot that felt not horrible in the beginning feels much harder now. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Come on. All right, guys, 40 seconds left. Next week, while I'm thinking of it, next week we're going to do a little bit less structured. We're going to do one of those conditional races where, depending on the people you see in the race and the things that happen, we'll do different things. So we'll play a little bit more of a game next week. And then the week after that, I believe I'm gone. So we'll figure out what's happening on the week after that. But let's finish this out first. First things first. Here we go. We're going to accelerate in 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's accelerate. 30 seconds. Pick up that pace, guys. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. All right, get ready to go right back down to sweet spot. Sweet spot number 15 out of 16. So this should be 90 RPMs. So something to pay attention to. He's not awesome, but Clif Bar is pretty good at riding while looking backwards. That's super important on the track, especially because the track is a predictable surface. You know where it's going to be. But Cliff is pretty good at riding at high breakaway efforts while looking under his elbow, looking over his shoulder. You always want to know what that other person is doing when you get to the end of the race, because you need to see when they're going to attack. Even if you're working together in the breakaway, you know that ultimately you're working together in order to work against each other for the finish. So being able to ride hard in a straight line while not looking forwards is a good skill to have. He's not, I don't want to say he's not great at it. I said that, that's not what I meant. He's not doing it to its best effect right now. He's looking backwards very obviously, and then looking forwards very obviously, which is the perfect time to attack. That's usually when I attack, is I wait for someone to look back and forwards, and then back and then forwards, and then back. And the minute they look forwards again, I'm going to attack, because it's just very telltale how obvious they're looking back and then they're not. So when they're not looking, that's when you know they maybe feel the safest, or they need to see where they're going. So you want to make sure that when you're looking back, you kind of cock your head to the side and you look back out of the corner of your eye, and you look forward out of the corner of your other eye, so that you can look back and front without changing your head direction. Here we go. 8 out of 10. Effort. Accelerate. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Pedal, 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 pedal. We're looking at just about 105% FTP. It's spicy. All right, let's bring it back down to sweet spot for the very last time. You might have noticed that Clif Bar has not pulled through lately, and that's probably because he's either dangling on this wheel or he is no longer in this group. So we're going to finish this out solo if we can. We'll see if anyone takes us to the line. It's hard to say without having anyone behind you, or any camera to see if there's anyone behind you. Things to pay attention to when you're in a race before we get there. Remember, 95 RPM or 98% FTP. Things to pay attention to are, obviously, look behind you, see if there's someone there. Great time to look behind you is glancing over your shoulder through a turn, because you can glance in the direction that you're turning and you'll see who's coming from that other side of the 90-degree bend. Looking for shadows as you come through turns. You know, shadows stretch out. You can see if there's the shadow stretched out of someone behind you. Listening for wheels, depending on how the blood is pumping in your ears, you won't hear anything. But listening for wheels, and you know, all of those are little signs that you can use to figure out how close someone is behind you. you know, stuff like that. Cool. We're going to go into our final 30-second acceleration, which is going to take us right up to this line. We're doing about 1 minute laps because it's a short course. I bet this is probably 0.6 miles or so. For this final 30 seconds, we're just going to ramp it up to all out because it's your last one. If you plan on doing a third set, don't do that. Cool, taking this turn nice and fast. Here we go, guys. We should be going, building it up to full speed. Faster, 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 faster. With 10 seconds left, if this is your last set, you're gonna go all out. If you're gonna do a third set of 20 minutes, then just keep this at like 105, 110 FTP. Pedal, 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 pedal. Boom, that's a wrap. Okay. All right, guys. That's all we got. That's the end of the workout and the race today. If you want to do that third set, especially on YouTube Live, I mean, Facebook Live, I don't think you can scroll back until the video's done. But if you're on YouTube, you can just pull that slider back. I don't know exactly when to tell you to scroll back to, but you can see the timers and you can see the tempo numbers. Scroll back to either tempo number 1 and do that set, or just scroll it back to tempo number 9 and do that, because that'll be the beginning of your second 20-minute set. Do another 20-minute set, take 5 minutes rest, do another 20-minute set, and then you're done. So that'll be 3 20-minute sets here. If that's it for you today, great job. Good work. In the comments, I've added the link for the local apparel store. There will be more stuff coming, but just some fun little things to take a look at. If you're purchasing from the EU, message me first, because I accidentally left. I don't really know what the conversion is, and I didn't look it up. So the pound and the euro conversion on these is going to make the shirt way more expensive than if you just bought it on USD. I lowered the margins on the USD, so none of the shirts are for profit. It's just at cost for whatever Teespring charges you. So buy it with USD if you can. There will be more t-shirts showing up there. And if you're coming to the lifting session today, or you want to come in the future, we have a lifting session for cyclists, specifically for improving cycling mechanics and the type of strength that you need to succeed on the bike. If you want to be a part of that session, or you want to know more about strength and conditioning for cycling specifically and how to boost your performance, reach out to me, put it in the comments, hit me up on Instagram. You can see my social up there on the screen. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. We're going to do a conditional race next week instead of a super structured one. I'll see you next time. Good work, guys.